as the Knicks reclaim
as much of what the D-League is all about. You'll see him wearing number 5 in white. Played at Virginia last year where he was ACC Defensive Player of the Year, but he's improved offensively as the year's gone along.
Trice through the legs, left it short. It's Liggins with the rebound and the acceleration to Powell with a beautiful move to the rim, +1.
And so getting out in transition, the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Well, that from here in Westchester in the northern part of the metropolitan area, just north of New York City. Averaging about 15 a game off the bench. Stokes with position.
Maneuvers underneath the basket and takes Baczynski one-on-one for 2.
Good footwork to get around the 7'2" Jordan Baczynski. Game off the bench. Stokes with position.
Maneuvers underneath the basket and takes Baczynski one-on-one for 2.
Good footwork to get around the 7'2" Jordan Baczynski.
Inside Baczynski, he was swarmed and lost the ball. Magruder pushing against Fredette, high off the glass, and enough
for Sioux Falls as they have taken a 1-point lead. That Sioux Falls, a team that has good depth, great depth really, a number of guys that can hurt you. They might not get 25 or 30, but they're going to get their 12, 15, or 17.
Fredette forcing it against Magruder, well defended. Skyforce without numbers. The trailer, Trawick, going right to the rim for the scoop.
And too easy right there for the former Georgetown star, Jabril Trawick.
By scoring the first 8 points of the contest, Sioux Falls has come storming back as the defense is tightened. Liggins is able to clear the Darion Atkins miss. Backdoor Liggins gets by James for the easy lay-in.
And you see right there, Baczynski had to come out to respect the perimeter ability of Stokes. Left the paint open.
First. James on the skip pass, takes a rhythm dribble and misses the 3. Bubu Paulo wants to run, but the Knicks transition D is present, except they miss Trawick going backdoor.
And a beautiful pass by Stokes. We keep mentioning his name, and why not? He can do it all in that time with the Jordan Crawford right there, number 1 of the game for Westchester. Only 5'6", but he can really play.
22-6 run for the Skyforce. Baczynski lunges in and left it short. Now it's Stokes, the big man, leading the break for the one-handed hammer.
How about that handle at 6'7" and 255, and Mike Miller of Westchester, who's never shy.
We mentioned the defensive prowess.
Nearly 18 turnovers a game that they force, as you mentioned, as a result of nearly 10 steals per game for Sioux Falls. That, the number 1 figure in the league.
Jimmer Fredette has re-entered here in the first quarter. Atypical for Fredette to leave the game and come back in the first frame. Stokes abusing Atkins to the rack, and all Darion can do is...
Stokes 6 points to this point.
For some extra artillery.
Yes, earlier this year, in fact, it was the night that Jimmer Fredette made his Westchester debut several weeks into the season. Floyd Mayweather was on hand, seated courtside, a good friend of Jordan Crawford. You want to talk about being the big man on campus that night. Mr. Crawford was indeed.
Stokes off target, rebound by Fredette. His head is up. Penetrates inside, hangs with the left.
That crispness offensively, and there, yet another example, yet another Westchester turn.
A presence for the New York Knicks here at Westchester County, checking out his former teammates. Jarnell Stokes inside, goes to the left hand and scores to increase the lead.
And increases point total. Porzingis, Jose Calderon, also Sasha Vujovic along with Mr. Galloway. They are not being treated to a very good Westchester performance.
Stokes likes the matchup against Atkins. Trawick is open from deep.
Jabril Trawick now 3 of 3. He's got even this early.
30-8 run. Fredette scored 37 points against Sioux Falls in one of the 4 meetings. He's having trouble getting off a clean look here in the playoffs.
Forced by Jimmer that time. Ill-advised shot. And I'm surprised at the disarray offensively for Westchester as Liggins misses on the 3, but Magruder puts on the follow as they've doubled up Westchester. Now I'm surprised David because just doing it too easily that time is Atkins for the Knicks.
Adding 2 to the total, the UVA product. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Sioux Falls has been relentless after falling behind early, led by that man, Jarnell Stokes, who has it knocked away.
To knock it out of bounds in the previous trip, Atkins was able to make Stokes.
7 on 2 occasions. What's even more remarkable is they started the year 0-2, including a loss here in November against Westchester. So not only are they 40-10 overall, they're 40-8 over the last 48.
And so, thanks for reminding me, they start 0-2 and then begin 22-4 en route to the 40-10 record as Stokes goes to the bucket. Isn't that how some NFL coaches?
Liggins thought he was drawing contact there, picked up by Magruder, end of the shot clock. Stokes gets an offensive rebound and a reset for the Skyforce.
And there's the offensive rebounding by Stokes that Coach Miller of Westchester was concerned with. Hasn't done a lot of it, did it right there.
Sioux Falls outscored 8-0 to start the game. They took a 17-point lead later on in the first quarter. And Trawick gets all the way to the rim, added up to 22 next season. Darion Atkins is denied off the inbounds play.
It was Trawick that got the hand on it as Atkins was turned away.
Under 6 minutes to go, the lob inside. Magruder just out-muscling everyone, and the lead balloons to 16.
Sioux Falls continues to set up shop far too easy. Machinsky out, so Westchester going with a much smaller lineup here.
Pull-up 3. Fredette liked it as he started to run back the other way. He follows it up with a 2 off the iron, and Magruder rips away the rebound.
Jimmer with opportunities could not take advantage.
Magruder in the paint, goes to the offhand. Tough rebound by Atkins with under 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Former Marquette star, #1 in the league individually at 26 per game. Something in the air out west.
Crawford elevating to the rim. And what's interesting about the playoffs this season, 3 returners in the East, 3 newcomers in the West.
Wide open.
Whittington off target. Antetokounmpo grabs the board. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. These teams separated by a dozen.
And I'll tell you, Westchester's still within reach despite the subpar play.
Atkins facing up against Stokes. Briante Weber in here in the third quarter.
Man advantage, Liggins slow getting up.
Trice boxing out, helped out by Rashad James. He's got an explosion. Falling away, switch.
Just a great scorer, Rashad James. We mentioned earlier he grew up 5 minutes from here in White Plains in Westchester County. For those of you not familiar with the New York metropolitan area, about a half hour north of New York City, maybe a little bit less. Depends on traffic, right?
Stokes from the outside. High rebound on Antetokounmpo. Chance to trim the deficit to single figures.
John Lenahan, Eric Murdoch. What are the odds of that?
Backhanded feed inside. Vichinsky couldn't reach for it. Extra pass, Whittington. Ball is loose and Weber is there.
Hot potato goes to Sioux Falls. That epitomizes their big day.
High screen, Benson, Liggins, in and out dribble, and just inside the foul line connects.
DeAndre Liggins, a tough matchup for Westchester. He's 6'6" from Division II. Well, you can make it here in the D-League, and of course, that puts you just a step away.
Inside of 8 minutes to go, Westchester here at home trailing as Sioux Falls looks to take a 1-0 games lead in this best of 3, with the series shifting back to Sioux Falls for game 2 and 3. Good contest by the Knicks. Here's Capers on the run. Pull up 2, draws the foul.
Will doing it right here. Capers to the line, moving his team within 13.
Capers, the 9th player to play for Westchester this evening. 9 players have come into the game for the Skyforce. Each team carrying 10 active players for this Eastern Conference semifinal game 1. Liggins with a great fake and then a bullet pass inside for an easy 2. Briante Weber.
You say easy 2 for Sioux. Easy 3 right there from Travis Trice.
So once again, back to a dozen, 7 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. The crowd energized earlier, trying to pick back up here. Weber over Atkins, too strong. Another offensive rebound, and Magruder draws the horn.
Yeah, but Chin in half of the ones they missed.
Atkins on the baseline, no. Benson elevates high over Capers for the defensive rebounds. And the speedy Skyforce will take its time over midcourt. Winnington spinning off the glass with the offhand. 99-83, midway through the 4th. Sioux Falls floor. Capers missing the layup inside. Time dwindling for the home Knicks. Inside of 5 minutes to play in a 12-point game.
Capers taking a bump, no call. Fans behind us trying to egg on the refs, but no whistle. They are in no hurry, Sioux Falls. Plenty of ability and, more importantly, plenty of time to be patient. But they're down to 2.
Liggins beats the buzzer.
Jordan's had a solid game, 16 points, 5 rebounds, but I think they needed more from him and more consistently today to make Stokes work harder, as I said earlier, has not taken place.
Into Stokes, spinning and scoring.
So that not what the Knicks need, just exchanging buckets.
3:40 left, pull front of the iron. The rebound down to Boo Boo Paulo.
Haven't seen Paulo for a while, but Boo Boo will slow it down. And again, why not? Clock is a friend of the Skyforce. The force is with them, and so is time.
Sioux Falls over the century mark, looking for more with 6 on the timer. Magruder, a 3. Yes, sir.
Rodney Magruder is one of the great three-point shooters in the D-League.
Sioux Falls lead trimmed to 13 with Kevin Capers made field goal in the paint. Trice, backcourt defense against Paulo. Up ahead, Liggins.
So they play keep away, work the clock.
9 on the timer, Paulo a wide open paint. Defense collapse, allowing Stokes to get in on the offensive glass. And he
long rest here for Antetokounmpo, as it's called a goaltend, offensively, somewhat intended. So Westchester, hopefully for them, can get off to a better start in game 2 on Friday night. And you know, you mentioned, Dave, the fact that regular season performance by Westchester against Sioux Falls has proven to be somewhat insignificant here today in game 1 of the playoffs. Westchester against the other 3 playoff teams in the East was 8-6.
Leaning in for a missed shot, followed up by Stokes, who just outmuscles everybody for the loot.
That against Boo Boo and company, Westchester has had no picnic basket here today.
Half minute to go. Sioux Falls as good as advertised.
Kristaps Porzingis and his buddies headed out. The Knicks star taking in all of this one, so he gets a check mark for staying.